gotta get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go.
Welcome, Greek Army. We are here exploring more DeFi projects. We got today Oliver T and Moon God Crypto Matt in the house. How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How about you?
Good evening. I'm here in this crazy environment. You know, everything's going to crap, or is it? Who knows?
I mean, I don't think it's too bad currently right now.
No, you got people making videos. Is DeFi dead? Is it not dead? Who knows what's going on? I'm like, no, it's not dead. Don't let the bad actors ruin the good indie.
Yeah,
that's.
I think in regards to that, and the question of like whether or not DeFi is dead, really more so comes down to the fact that we're in a bear market. Like, you know, we've seen a lot of instances where like the same stuff happens with projects, you know, through bull markets, but like nobody pays attention because you lose in one project, you win in another. You know, and it
is true. You are correct. When I was in my SafeMoon days, like Rug City, every other day was Rug City. But now everybody's like, this project's rugging, this project's rugging. DeFi's going to be dead. And I'm like, well, it was Rug City before, but, you know, this money was getting thrown around like crazy.
Yeah, and that's really where we can kind of see the difference between, you know, kind of like where we are now versus like, you know, bull market and like everything in full upswing is that like, you know, people just kind of like they shrug it off. They move on to the next project whenever it's a bull market. You know, not that I'm saying that should be the case, and I'm not excusing anybody that's a bad actor. You know, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, we know who that was as of most recent with a lot of our community members. But it very much so is a case where it's like in the bear market, those are much more prevalent, and you can kind of see them happen much more often. You know, but I will say, you know, there's a lot of things that the projects that are building within the bear market, such as Prisma and One, you know, that we're doing a lot of stuff to kind of try and, you know, flip the script on that, you know, make it go like 180.
Prisma, it's been a while since I talked to you. What is going on with your project? Is there any updates with moving forward?
Yeah, so we're in the second month of our bot being used to farm our treasury, and working on rebuilding there. The first month we did 16.7% in returns.
That's really good.
Actual revenue generated, not just like, hey, we snapped tokens out of like we just snapped our fingers, more tokens. We actually generated that in revenue. We're at about 2% so far this month. After about 4 days where the bot was down for some maintenance and things like that.
Well, that's not bad.
And so, yeah, we're doing pretty solid so far. And, that's actually really tied into, some of the stuff from both Prisma and One and what we're looking to kind of provide, to our holders. So I don't know if Oliver wants me to just jump right into it right away.
Please. Yeah.
I know we're going to keep this one shorter for anybody watching. It's going to be nice, short, sweet, to the point. And I'm going to go back live later tonight. So I got to do some stuff around the house, but yeah. And we got the whole One ecosystem up and running. Their community's great. I know everybody in that community. It's basically the community that helped make me who I am. So I have a lot of love for that community. So yeah, if you guys want to talk about the NFT and what this entails, I can bring up some stuff on the screen here.
Yeah, so while it's kind of getting brought up and everything, just to kind of go for like the background of it, how it kind of came to be, when Prisma and the One team started talking with each other, just like in the beginning, and we kind of, started through that process of creating our partnership and, things that we wanted to plan out and do together. This is actually one of the things that kind of came up because the One team was looking for a process and a method to generate some passive income for their holders. We were kind of looking to expand and maybe dabble a little bit in doing some NFTs. And so, the One team was, a perfect fit for that, having launched their NFT recently, I believe, like a week or two prior to us finalizing our partnership. And then, that went really, really well for them. That went really well for their holders as well, too. And so we wanted to create something that was very similar to that, and kind of expand upon it a little bit more and use, some of the tried and true methodology that we've been testing out for months at this point in time. And that's where the NFT bot or the Prisma One NFT came into fruition here. So, yeah, we kind of had this timeline of the way we were looking at it, at least from the two teams working together perspective, where about a month after the 2 token launched and about a month roughly after the Prisma token launch, because we were very, very close to each other, we were looking to roll out the Prisma One NFT. And a lot of people were asking that question is like, hey, are we transitioning? Like, are we moving away from like what we talked about we were going to do? And to short and sweet answer that, no, we're not. We're still doing everything that we've talked about doing, both on the Prisma side and the One team side. This was just a really good way for us to be able to provide an option that gave really, really, fantastic, potential for returns down the road for holders of this NFT. And a lot of people have kind of, looked at it as like, hey, I'm not sure, 50-50. NFTs are one thing, but our bot's been tested. It's been doing its stuff. It's still producing exactly where we'd want it to be and exactly the idea and the mentality that we had behind it. A lot of the reinvestments we were looking at doing to continue to have it grow. So that way, this is something where it's not just like, oh, this is going to generate income for you for like 3 months or 6 months or something like that, and then it's going to vanish out of existence. Yeah, this is something we want people to be able to buy, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 of these, and then just, this is something
how
you
often
can have for 15 years.
How often are you showing your results of the bot? Like you do that nightly, weekly?
Right now we're working on doing it weekly. As we kind of go forward, the goal in this matter is to have like a trailing API for it, where basically somebody can just go right to like the Prisma One NFT website. They can just look in there and they'll see like with like a day or two delay, the trades that have been occurring for the NFT, how it's doing. how
That's
that bot
very
is
good for transparency purposes, especially.
Exactly. Yeah. And so right now we're kind of in this this little phase where we're kind of trying to find a good way to do that. But the nice part about it is we're not having to do it by ourselves. We've got some great partners who are really intelligent and kind of know that stuff, and we're working with them to kind of figure out a way to be able to provide that transparency, which I know both the one team and Oliver can agree with me there. I'm sure he's gonna jump in and be like, yeah, absolutely. But we want transparency to be, the most important thing regarding these, because they're not a short-term investment that's going to be an instant flip. This is going to be something where it's like, we've got like 5 years planned out. We've got like 10 years planned out at a minimum for these, and that's a situation where like, there's been a couple of questions like, how long are we planning on staying around? And it's like, we want these to be like multi-billion-dollar projects hand in hand together, and these are the processes that it's going to take to kind of get both of these projects theirs, cumulative effort and, a lot of like planning, not just 1 year down the road, not 3 years down the road, but we're talking, 10, 15, 20 years plus down the road. So,
yeah.
How many of the NFTs are you guys, or is it unlimited? You can just keep on buying NFTs.
You want to answer that, Moon God?
Yeah. So as far as I'm aware, the only, I guess, if you want to call it quote unquote limitation, is I think the most you can buy at one time is 10. Okay. But there's no limit to how many you can hold in your wallet. So like you can
I think he's asking how many NFTs are.
Yeah, you don't have like a max limit on total NFTs minted. It's just
sorry, yeah.
Like if I wanted to buy, let's say some crazy guy came in and is like, I want 100,000 NFTs. They could essentially buy 100,000.
No, there's 612.
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood the question. Yeah, Oliver's right. 612.
612. Okay.
Yep.
Why the number 612? Any significance?
I think I can answer this. We were thinking of doing a lower number, but if we did that, the price per bot or per NFT would have been like $600, and we wanted to make it affordable. So with that many NFTs, each NFT is only one BNB,
which is much more reasonable. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and also the if you go to the white paper, which this is one of my favorite white papers because it's only one page. It's very clear, very concise, and the numbers at the bottom will get you really excited. And they're very, to me, they're very realistic and attainable. And even from what I understand, they're very conservative because we're heading into a bull market in the next year or two.
You're talking these example payouts.
There you go. Yeah. And so to me, what each of these NFTs is to me is like a retirement plan, because like, honestly, like, and it stops at year 6 and it says this payout is based on stage 3. Moon God was saying the same thing. I want these things to just go on forever if we can. So it's going to go well past year 6. I mean, he was saying year 10, year 15. And what happens in year 6 is when it goes to stage 3, that means that the payouts go from being 50% paid out, 50% reinvested, or however the breakdown is, to being like, I think 90% paid out. And correct. that way it's not like affecting the markets too much, because by year 6, this bot is going to be dealing with like $1 billion. And if we're, if we're investing that much, we can be literally, affecting the market. And that's not what we want to do. So we want to make it sustainable so that at that point, we won't be reinvesting anything. We'll be paying out everything. And that's why at year 6, you see those numbers jump up.
So year 1 is all reinvested, right?
Correct. Yeah. The reason why we wanted to do that is effectively that gets us up to about $400,000 to $500,000, give or take just a little bit, by the end of year 1. Then we're going to go through and continue to have the bot work and do its thing throughout year 2. And then at the end of year 2, all of the revenue that's generated throughout the year is going to be in a 50-40-5-5 split. So it's 50% goes to payout, 40% reinvested, 5% to the one team, 5% to the Prisma team. And that's going to go into our treasuries that we can kind of use for buybacks or, marketing or whatever, a bonus payout to our one token and Prisma token holders, however we want to kind of use that. And then, year 3, same thing. and then it continues all the way on. And then once we get into about that range of 15 to about 25 million in the bot, due to the way that our trading system works, that's when we're going to swap to that stage 3, where we pretty much are going to go from 50, 40, 5 to 95.5, which means that payout almost doubles at that point in time. And, even in a case where we're looking at an extremely, extremely, low return situation, per bot, we're still looking at about $8,000 to $10,000 per bot per year.
And do you have any plans between the two, like your partnership with the one team and with doing stuff with these NFTs in the meantime while you're not collecting a payout? Like, is there any benefit? Because a year, I know people get impatient.
Yeah. Not really. It's more of a long-term play, which those things can make people a little antsy in crypto. So
I just want that to be out there so people listening can be like, I didn't know this. I thought there was going to be benefits, That's why I say do your research, know what you're getting into. You buy one of these NFTs, you're basically year 2 is when you start getting money. And
well, that's like partially correct.
I forgot about the
so at the end of year 1, we have a buyout option where you can get up to 4 times or 400%.
Okay.
And that is based on like how much revenue we generate. So we should be starting off roughly with about depending on how much BNB kind of moves within the the time frame here, anywhere from about $70,000 to about $80,000 is what we're going to.
So you give people an option there.
And we're hoping to get to about 400 to 500,000 by the end of year 1. And anyone that purchases the NFT can take that end of year 1 payout, but that will burn their NFT, and they no longer get future payouts at all. So it potentially could be up to about a 400% return after 1 year, but it burns the NFT, which means that you don't get the year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and perpetual down the road. That also doesn't mean that, at some point in time, we won't add some other little functions to this, but as of right now, it's kind of hey, this is exactly what Oliver said. It's meant to be kind of like a long-term sit and hold, but somebody sweeps in and buys like 25 or 30 NFTs, and they're like, yeah, at the end of year 1, I want to just take my principal back out, which was like, say, $3,000. They could take the profits on, say, 2 NFTs or something like that, or 3 NFTs. And that effectively would, potentially cover a portion of whatever their initial principal was.
Makes
and
sense.
so, it's kind of a situation where we wanted to give people the ability that if they really didn't want to sit with us any longer and kind of go through this process, to be able to kind of, take their money and run, so to speak. But yeah, that's kind of
you don't have to go on an app and claim this is all airdropped, right? I'm seeing that in the comments, but I just want it live just in case the comments don't show up after the video's out.
I don't know if we finalized that yet regarding like the airdrop side of it. I can't imagine that would be too much of an issue. My understanding so far was that there would be a claim within the like the app and the website itself. Oliver, please correct me if I'm wrong, though.
We can have Cyril make a DApp for us, a claim DApp. I don't know. I hadn't really. Yanni maybe knows. He might remember something that Lucky said, whether we wanted to do it as an airdrop or a claim DApp.
Well, this is the reason why, because Yanni said airdrop to wallet and stablecoin.
Okay.
Essentially building a hedge fund.
Okay.
And then 612. He answered every question. He was just on fire answering questions.
Yanni's the man. He's the man.
The man, the myth, the legend, the Yanni. So then, it'll just be airdropped in a stable coin of of our choosing. We might, I don't know, potentially like diversify some stable coins there, and just to make sure like something weird doesn't happen, like that USDC DPEG, where it just was like, this is worth 92 cents now.
I wrote that up. I wrote it back to peg, and I was happy. So
I know who didn't at that point in time. I mean, that was the play to make there.
Luckily, I had funds in my wallet sitting in BUSD, and I'm just like, depegged. I threw it all in there and I wrote it back up and I gained 9%. It's great.
Nice.
Perfect.
Teddy One wants to know, what about the people already invested in Prisma but didn't claim tokens from Pink Sale?
Yep. So this is a totally separate thing. This is something that we had in the works that was supposed to come out about a month, like I said, after the launch of Prisma. But for anyone that's curious about it, Prisma V2 is going to be airdropped right into your wallet. You won't have to do anything on your side. You won't have to claim from anywhere. We've got the people that claimed and did not sell. We've got those wallets, and we've got the people from Pink Sale that did not claim. We've got those wallets as well too.
Okay.
So all sides are good there.
Just keep up in your
Nothing to worry
Discord
about.
for
Yep.
updates. Perfect.
Yeah, follow Discord for updates. I will say this much really quick as well too. If the bot continues, the one that we're using to farm our treasury and our ITF, if it continues in the process that it's doing now, we would recoup the funds by mid to late November. So
Okay.
worst case scenario, we would probably see like a December/January launch unless something changes. Again, that's just kind of like based on some rough estimates, bot returns, things like that. And assuming that the entire market doesn't fall out the bottom, next week or something like that.
No.
But yeah,
We're going up. We're going up.
absolutely. That's the hope and the dream,
So Biz says, Oliver, it's been great to watch your crypto knowledge grow. Great job. No
Thank
more
you.
Mr. Shy Guy. See, you were nervous. You were nervous. I told
know.
you, man. Told
I get so nervous before these, but yeah,
Look at you. You went from never being on live to going live every day with your own project, being the head honcho.
Doing my own lives, that's pretty. It's no big deal. It's when I'm doing it with everybody else that's what's scary. But anyway.
Wise Choice wants to know, what if you only need to sell like $100 instead of the entire BNB with the NFT? Can that be done, or is it all or nothing?
So it is an all or nothing situation if you're going to do that year one claim. And again, that'll be as we kind of get closer to that. I think one of the things that we can kind of do would be set up a calculator. And I know the teams have been talking about this, setting up a calculator so people can kind of see based on the amount that we've returned so far, like what are some of the projections down the road.
Or data-driven calculator, that's good.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also like what that 1 year payout would be. So again, like I talked about, like if somebody say bought like 20 or 25 NFTs and they're like, yeah, I just want to recoup my principal here, which we'll say, I'm not doing the math right now. My brain is after work today, a little fried after having a 100+ degree fever for like the last week. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Let's say it's like $2,500 or like $5,000 or whatever it is. And they have to sell like 5 NFTs to recoup their principal. And that's the decision they decide to go with it. We want to have that, calculation, potentially like on DApp/website. So there's a lot of things that we can kind of do over the next year to add a little more, transparency, give those NFT holders a little bit to kind of play with and kind of see both historically and potential projections based on historic values as well.
Yeah, so there's still quite a few available, as you can see.
Yeah, so they have the Versal app. You guys have the Versal app up and running. It is Prisma/1/NFT/minting/app.versal.app. I will have that in the video. If you do want to buy one, here's what it looks like, and you can buy your NFT.
Thank you very much.
I should have just looked at this, and I would have seen 612. So 53 sold out of 612. That is awesome job so far.
Thank you. Yep.
So I do want to answer MAGA Warzone's question really quick here, because it really ties into like the wise choice. Yeah, that one. It says if someone that takes a year one payout, are future payouts split between the remaining NFTs, or can be burnt, or can the burnt NFTs be resold? So the way that the burnt NFTs will work is twofold. First and foremost, you can pick which NFTs you'll want to burn in order to get the payout for them. Once those are burnt, they're done. There's nothing else that you can do with them. They will be gone 100%, like, like taken back into the system effectively and be just, like nulled into existence or nulled out of existence. And then the way that'll work as well is if people burn their NFTs, it will also reduce the amount of NFTs remaining as part of the split, which means that it increases the payouts per NFT. So if we go from 612 NFTs to say 306 NFTs, and I'm not recommending everybody burn their NFTs, I'm just using that as an example. But if we swap that, that means that those numbers and those values that you saw within the white paper, those are all based on 612 NFTs.
Okay.
So if we, if people burn their NFTs and just take the year one payout and we have, say, 306, all of those numbers get doubled. So it really kind of adds this much larger benefit because, we're able to provide, those additional returns to those holders, even though some of those payouts are coming out as well too. So yeah, it's a much bigger benefit, even if, some people end up burning a couple here and there to kind of just recoup some of their initial principal. It allows them to kind of, still maintain a couple of NFTs because, again, me personally, I kind of based a lot of the values for like, how much, annual, living expenses would be and like how many NFTs would I need for that to be a thing. So generally as like a basis, I kind of set that as like, hey, 5 NFTs, is kind of like the basis for somebody, generally around the world to have effectively get paid $15 an hour for just buying an NFT and letting it sit for 5 years, 6 years, kind of thing.
Yeah, and GS, is this unique and never been done before? There's a lot of things that are being done in the NFT space. This is one, I haven't seen one like this, but I'm not too big on the NFT space, so.
I heard just today that Jesse Eckel has a bot that is getting similar returns to Prisma's bot, and but he's not doing an NFT. I think he's like doing a course that you can like learn how he does it, but it's like $2,000 or something like that. But so
yeah,
but yeah. I mean, it just seems like bots are just a solid play. I mean, I don't have the first clue how to operate one, so just buy an NFT and have Moon God operate it for you.
Yeah. So I mean, our system is, I would say it's fairly unique compared to what most other bots out there are trying to do, and the other side of it as well is it's fairly unique in the fact that we're not risking nearly as much. So like to give an example of such, one of the biggest bot projects as of recent that actually just collapsed, unfortunately, was iBots. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that one or not. But I was kind of keeping an eye on them because they were doing some, token trading and some Forex trading and things like that. And they lost about 80% in a bad trade because they were just leveraged up so much. On our side over here, we've chosen the option of being conservative in terms of like our leverage and the way that our system kind of works. So, as of to date, we actually just crossed a 100 win rate in terms of, how many trades have we had win loss. So we've got 100 in a row.
That's awesome.
We just passed that, I believe yesterday evening. So, big win there. On top of that as well, we also tried to make sure that we weren't going to run the risk of ever, potentially being liquidated. And so far, the only potential liquidation that we ever would have had regarding our trade was on Ethereum when it was in about that 1,600 to 1,800 range.
Yeah.
Ethereum had to shoot up to $109,000 in order for us to be liquidated in the position that we were in. So, yeah, we're pretty confident that our risk to reward ratio is exactly where we want it to be. We're going to continue to analyze that on a day-to-day basis. We do have an emergency stop button if we absolutely have to go that route and do that. But we really wanted to focus on the safety side of things. Now,
exactly.
that doesn't mean that we can, predict any kind of black swan event. Like if somebody were to withdraw the liquidity or something crazy like that, and then like just shoot the price up on Ethereum just instantaneously, there's nothing we could do about that. That would be like a crazy, like who would have figured event kind of thing. But for the most part, on the back end side, we've tried to be as careful as we can with this to ensure that, long term, we have a really good process to kind of continue to create this yield and this reward and make sure that it's actual revenue generated.
Well, I like what I hear. Hopefully we get the word out, more people get into this. I know people got to get the faith back in DeFi space. So hopefully this starts it. It's been great. We said we were going to keep it short and sweet, people, and we did 30 minutes.
Yep.
If there's any other last words that you want to say, either of you guys?
So G says, is Prisma here to stay? I think they are.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
You guys have handled it very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, we got a little beat up. We're like Rocky in the first Rocky movie there. Yeah, got to get beat up
in front of people. You didn't go hiding. You didn't say, you formulated a plan, and that's all you can ask for in this space. Like things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And you guys got us in your corner. And listen, I'm pretty useless, but Yanni and Lucky are secret weapons, man. And you guys got them helping you. So Prisma is going to be just fine.
Yeah, Lucky keeps trying to get me to bet on the Lions. I'm a Bears fan. I'm like, stop getting me to bet on the Lions.
I'm a Packers fan. You guys are both at a loss here anyways.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Forget you now. Get off my show. I'll take the Lions fan because they're a sad sack of a team, but Packers, ugh.
Well, I mean, in fairness, I don't think the Packers are going to be worth anything going through the.
No, you're probably going to go to your third Hall of Fame quarterback in a row and just be.
Yeah, there's no way that Jordan Love is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's an absolute joke in and of itself.
I'm joking with all my friends. I'm like, watch, he's going to be amazing, and we're going to hate ourselves again.
Listen, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to ask Peyton Manning to come out of retirement, come help us, or maybe we'll try and convince Tom Brady with billions upon billions.
I feel sorry for you. The Bears have had nobody throw for over 4,000 yards, and you guys are complaining because you've had 2 Hall of Famers in a row.
Yeah, well, how many Super Bowls did we win with him? 1. Same thing with the other guy. We won 1 as well, so it's just a disappointment.
Oh, poor them. They won 2 Super Bowls.
I just don't even want to talk about it.
I can listen to you guys talk about sports all day. Let me tell you.
It's just funny. But it was a pleasure having you guys on. If you ever want to do anything again, just reach back out to me. We'll spin it up. We'll talk about it.
You the man, Greek. You the man.
Just see. Man, I haven't done lives on my channel in forever. I'm like, where's the buttons? Where are those buttons?
How do we close out? What do we do? Do we say bye? What goes on?
All right, everybody. Stay tuned later tonight. We are going to have Nick Caliani and the BroodFi guys. It's going to be a great show. We're hard-hitting questions.
Ooh.
So it's going to be really good. We got a full panel tonight. So tune in for that. And
what time does that start?
8 o'clock Central Time. The real time zone, okay?
So that's 9 o'clock Eastern.
So it's 9 o'clock for the real time, Eastern Standard Time, which is the time that everybody should be on.
Eastern.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like Saturday, I'm going to be on Eastern Time, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, now I can feel what everybody else feels.
The real deal over here, Eastern Time.
Yeah,
all right, everybody, take care. Love you all. Let's continue on this journey together.
Absolutely, man. Sounds like a plan. Thanks.
Never fear, because the Greek is here.